Anubhuti, you're on mute.
Thanks, Sukanya. Okay. So let's start now. First of all, thank you all so much for registering in and for logging for our event today. I'm really delighted to see all of you this month for yet another exciting session of the Young Environmentalist. This time, as you know, our session is going to be on organic stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah, organic stuff and natural stuff. So, in order to know what are these things really, let us brainstorm about them a little. Bhomik, have you ever gone to buy grocery with your parents? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Have you ever gone with your mom to buy fruits and vegetables?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How do you find out whether they are healthy or not?
Ma'am, by looking them that they are fresh or not.
Okay. And what about things that come in packets? There are a lot of things that are coming in packets these days. No? Chips, biscuits.
How much energy is in the chips or something?
Oh, so you look through the contents, is it? That is great. Okay, we have Advait with us. Advait, you were raising your hand, but now I don't see you. Okay. Let me take a few more questions. Arhan Rajput. Arhan, can you hear me? Yes. Arhan, which class are you in? Class 3, 4, 5? Or are you a senior person? Oh, class 4. Okay. That's a very important class. So, Arhan, how do you find out whether a packet of biscuits or a packet of chips is healthy for you or not? Not able to hear the voice? You will have to.
Mic was not opening.
Oh,
yes, ma'am.
Fine now? Okay. So, Arham, if I give you a packet of juice, how will you know if that juice is fresh, healthy, and good for you?
We can check on their packet. There was written.
Okay. So I go to my next question now. What if a packet says it's a fresh juice, another one says it's real juice, another one says it's original juice, yet another one says it's authentic juice? Then what will you do? How will we actually find out which one is healthy for us? So be attentive, and I've got a very short and interesting quiz for you. I have got 3 questions and we will put them on poll, and my friend Sukanya will start the poll. You have to read through 3 questions and you have to make your vote, right? So the first question, which of these is the healthiest? Packet of fresh juice, packet of original juice, packet of organic juice, or packet of real juice? Quickly. Oh my God. So initially original juice was topping the charts. Now we have organic juice slightly taking the lead, and fresh juice and real juice are quite behind. All right. So we'll end this poll and we'll take it to understand that 58% are saying that a packet of organic juice is going to be the healthiest. I think we have got a very aware audience. Now, the second question. So, Kanya, can you please place the second question on screen? Thank you. So, what does a packet of organic juice mean? Now that you have chosen that organic is healthy, what does it mean? Does organic mean that something is made in a village Or is it made from natural fertilizers? I mean, fruits grown from natural fertilizers? Or that is it extracted by hand without any help of machines? What does organic mean? You guys have heard about organic stuff, right? Wow. It's so interesting to see everybody glued to their screens. Okay, so we have an overwhelming number of 92% people saying that organic means something is made from fruits grown with natural fertilizers. I think you guys are again right. That's a great answer. And now we have the last question. Do you ever check the label on a packet of juice? In fact, do you know what a food label means? What is a food label? Think about it. I see Toshani Paul glued to her screen and thinking really hard. Okay, so about 75% of our lovely audience is saying that you guys do check the food labels on the screen and you know what it is. Okay, so let me get started with our session today. And meanwhile, share the results with all of you of the polls. I would now welcome all of you to our wonderful session today, and I'm really glad that we have such an aware audience once again. You kids never fail to surprise me with your level of understanding and knowledge that you have. Let me introduce to you our guest speaker for the day. We have Vineet Kumar with us. Vineet is one of my expert colleagues at the Center for Science and Environment in Delhi. He has about 14 years of rich work experience on organic farming, sustainable food systems, climate adaptive and resilient agriculture. He has authored and co-authored several reports, some of which are the first of their kinds on natural farming and climate change. Earlier, he has worked with very esteemed organizations like the CSIR, National Physical Laboratory, UNICEF, TERI, and WWF India. Currently, he works as a program manager in our Sustainable Food Systems team, and he leads the program on regenerative agriculture. So, I would now request Vineet to take up our session and address our audience. I will come back to all of you at the end in the last 10-15 minutes for a question and answer round. So, in case you have any doubts or in case you want to ask any questions to Vineet, please note them or put them on chat strip and send it to me directly. Thank you. Vineet?
Yeah.
Please.
Yes. Thank you very much, Anubhuti. Actually, I'm so happy. I'm sure that today I'll make so many friends, and I think it is going to be a very interesting session. And my name is Vineet, and as Anubhuti told you, I work on I work as a policy researcher, and basically we just try to understand. We just try to track what is going on in the sector of organic farming, natural farming, and climate change. And today, why we have chosen this session is because I hope that this organic farming and natural farming, it's like everyone is talking about that. I'm sure if some of you read newspapers or see television, TV news, etc., then I'm sure you must have heard even Prime Minister of the country talking about organic farming or natural farming. So we'll try to see, and just let me open my presentation. Yeah. So you can see the screen. You can see the presentation on your screen.
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Yeah. So these are some of the pictures which I just thought that I should share these pictures with you, and just think about these pictures. What you see in these pictures. Just look at these pictures carefully.
You can write your responses on the chat strip. What do you see in these pictures? What does the second photo show? The first photo is definitely about agricultural revolution.
So what kind of agriculture revolution we are talking about? You know, in first photo, in second photo, in third photo, in fourth photo, what we are basically we are just trying to understand the agriculture history. So this is what was happening for more than 10,000 to 11,000 years before. You know, earlier what was the case that humans used to just wander in the forest, just they were involved in hunting, gathering food products from forest, etc., etc. And like nowadays, you see a lot of farms, crops grown on the farms. That was not the case that time. You know, even the animals, it was not domesticated. So basically, this was the time then around 10,000 to 11,000 years before, humans observed that we can, earlier what they were doing, they were simply going to forest, they were collecting their foods, and whatever they could get, they were eating it. They were hunting animals, and then they were having these vegetables, fruits, or whatever they could get from the forest. But then they realized that there are few crops which they can grow themselves. So they tried to domesticate these crops. For example, wheat, rice, like that. So today, when you need some food, you just go to your mom, you just go to your kitchen and get it very easily. And your parents go to nearby market, they buy vegetables, they go to nearby stores. Even you can order it online from your home, and then you get your food. It's not you don't have to struggle like these people used to have. Earlier, what was the case that that lot of human time was spent in getting the food, because food is the basic necessity. Without it, we will not survive. So, but the thing is that the things have changed dramatically in last few years, in last hundreds of years. So earlier, what was the case that we used to have thousands of crop varieties. Like, for example, I'm sure all of you eat rice and wheat. Anubhuti, can I ask? Can I ask this question? How will they reply? They will reply in the chat box, right?
Sure. Yeah. In fact, we are putting it up on the chat strip.
Yeah. So just I wanted to know how many types of rice varieties they have eaten in their home, or how many types of wheat varieties they have eaten in their home.
Okay, so Subul Khan wants to respond. Subul, can I unmute you? Do you want to answer this question? How many rice varieties have you had at home? Okay, I've unmuted you. Please introduce yourself, which class you study in, where are you from?
I am from Palawa. I am in grade 8. When we say types of rice, there are many types of ways of cooking people make, but I've only heard of 2 of them: brown rice and white rice. Maybe that's
okay. Thanks, Subul, for your answer.
Okay, fine. Yeah, this is fine. So basically, you will be surprised to know that rice, even just in India, if we look at in India only, we have around 40,000 to 1 lakh of traditional varieties, and more than 3 lakhs of these varieties have become extinct. And in case of wheat, we have around 1 lakh varieties. We used to have 1 lakh varieties. So you see, earlier it was a like very diversified cropping pattern. We'll see in next slides. For example, you see this भुट्टा. आप लोगों ने भुट्टा तो खाते होंगे अपने घरों पे. If you could just look at the photos, there are so many kinds of bhuttas. Have you ever eaten this red one, the blue one, the orange one like that? Have you ever even seen in your life?
Advait is really excited to see the brown bhutta, I think. And most of the kids have not seen it as they are messaging on the chat stream.
Yeah, because one of the objective of today's class is that just to, because, you know, now after 1960s, green revolution happened in our country, and now we have our food plate has become very small. The we used to have lots of varieties in our food plate. So now that varieties have decreased tremendously. This is what I just want to show. This is a photo taken from a farmer groups in Karnataka. So they were having lots of different types of these varieties. They are conserving these varieties, and they are still growing these varieties. But I think in most part of India, we are not able to get these varieties. So, yeah. So normally what we eat broadly can be categorized into following categories. Like you can see, there are cereals and tubers, then there are vegetables, then there are fruits, then there are pulses, beans, nuts and seeds, and then there are fish, insects and meats, and then there are dairy products. So this is the broad categorization of food. And if you look the India, just 1 minute. Yeah. So, you know, do you have any idea in terms of cultivable agriculture land? Like what is India's rank? There are so many countries in the world, around 200 countries are there in the world. And do you know, like, what is India's rank in terms of like which countries have largest agriculture land?
Okay, so here's a question for everyone. Vineet is asking, which country do you think has the largest agricultural land?
Basically, the cultivable land.
Cultivable land. So do you think, say, China practices agriculture on a larger land than India does? Or do you think in Europe, there is some country which has a much larger area for cultivation than our country? Or do you think India itself is a country where there is the largest area devoted to agriculture than any other country? Okay, so we have some interesting responses, Vineet.
Yeah.
China, India, USA, Africa.
Okay.
Aslan Nehat says USA.
Okay.
And Ashiana has an honest confession. She says, ma'am, I don't know.
Okay, good. So I think here is the answer. And then the next question was, in terms of food production, what is your understanding about, like, where do we stand? Where do in terms of wheat, rice, pulses, milk? So where do we stand? What is the rank of India in terms of food production?
You can ask the question in Hindi as well, Vineet. Like there are a couple of kids over here who have requested us to have the explanation in Hindi. So it's completely fine if you can switch the language and then translate.
Okay, sure. So basically, we are our rank is second in terms of cultivable land. USA is on top, And in terms of cereals, we are third. We are just next to US and China. And in terms of wheat, we are second and just next to China. And in terms of rice, we are second, just next to China. And in terms of pulses, we are the largest producer of pulses in the world. And in terms of milk also, we are the largest producer. In terms of fruits and vegetables, we are next to China. And in terms of sugar cane, tea, etc., we are second, next to Brazil and China. And in terms of some specific fruits, here you can see that like we are on top in terms of bananas production, pomegranate, mango, turmeric, okra, papaya. You know, all of these crops we are on top. And then potato, tomato, onion, cauliflower, brinjal, cabbage. So we are on second position. So this way, I'm sure that you get some idea that where do we stand. You know, we are one of the top countries in terms of agriculture production. And historically also, agriculture played a very crucial role because our some of you might have heard that our country, people used to call our country as golden bird, Sone ki chidiya. So agriculture played a major role that because we exported spices, lots of agriculture produce we used to export. And other than various other things, agriculture was the main thing that because of that, there was a saying in Hindi, Uttam kheti, madhyam ban, nikrish chakri, bhik nidan. So basically this meant that kheti is uttam, means agriculture is the best profession. Madhyam ban, business is like medium. Nikrish chakri, to do some job or service, is the worst thing in the world. I mean, this was the perception at that time. This saying gives a glimpse of what was the thinking at that time in India. So, and we had all the reasons that why people used to think like that, because we were this golden bird or Sone ki chidiya ek time pe. And if we go from, I'm sure you must be knowing that there are huge varieties in our food plates. You have your friends from Odisha, from West Bengal, from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Gujarat, Maharashtra. So you must have observed that all these states have their some unique diets, some unique, some unique dishes, some like there are lots of food varieties across the country. And 95% of our food is directly or indirectly produced on soil. So most of our food is coming from soil. Only food like this, which comes from fishes, insect, etc., might come from the water thing. But other foods either come directly, we grow lots of crops, or even if we consume meat, but then those animals consume these grass or fodders. So soil become very important. So soil, this is the plant, and then you can just see here the soil has organic matter, it has soil nutrients, it has microorganism, it gives basically it gives food to plant, and plant take food from soil, but as well as from the atmosphere. So like this carbon, phosphorus, nitrogen, all these things are there in atmosphere. So plant use these things to make their food. And people used to think that, okay, soil, there is a question whether soil is a living thing or non-living thing. You will be surprised to know that if you just take 1 teaspoon of soil, it contains more living organism than there are people in this world. So there are more than 7 billion people in this world. And if you just take 1 teaspoon of soil, you can't see those microorganisms from your eyes, but you can see those microorganisms with the help of microscopes. And you will be surprised to see that there are thousands and thousands of types of varieties of lots of bacteria, lots of fungi, etc., etc. And then there are earthworms, and there are other things. And these things ensure that there is a life in soil, and a healthy soil actually means healthy food. If our soil is not healthy, our food will not be healthy. Basically, all the like vitamins, proteins, nutrients, micronutrients, macronutrients, whatever we get from our food actually comes, most of it comes from soil. So, so you should be aware that like your food is coming from which places, whether like your food is coming from those type of soil which are healthy, or your food is coming from those type of soil which are not healthy. So what is currently, if I had some graphs, but actually I didn't bring it here. So basically, currently situation is that because of these chemical fertilizers and pesticides, our soil health is depleted drastically. And this means that now our soil has very less micronutrients and macronutrients. And because our soil has been depleted with these nutrients, so our food is also our food also does not have adequate amount of vitamins, proteins, etc., whatever is needed. So basically, like we were looking at the agriculture history, so these chemical fertilizers and pesticides were introduced only in 1960s. So before 1960s, so it means it was like just 60, 70 years before. So like my grandparents used to have a healthy food in their childhood, because at that time there was no chemical fertilizers, there was no pesticides. So whatever food was grown, it was grown in a very healthy soil. And there was, at that time, there was a huge diversity. When I was a child like you, so I had seen lots of crop varieties in my home. But now, lots of crop varieties are simply not available. Like for example, there was kodo, kutki, kangna. There were so many types of millets also. But now it's not there. I mean, it's there, but it is not part of our diet. So why this type of situation, why this type of situation emerged? Because during the 1950s and 60s, our population increased drastically. At the time of when our country got independence in 1947, and in 1947, our population of our country was like around 35-40 crore or 45 crore, around 40 crores. And now in 2023, our population is like 140 crores. So what happened? Because population increased dramatically, there was huge growth in population. So there was more demand of food. So people demanded, because there were more people, so we needed more food. And existing land was not sufficient. So then there was a time that we faced food shortage in our country, and we were forced to import foods from various countries, like from America. And we were at their mercy. Like we had to accept various terms where like we had to go down to those countries so that we can feed our population. So that time, a lot of discussion happened in our country that what should we do? How should we increase our food production? How should we increase yield of various crops, whether it is wheat, rice, pulses, etc., or vegetables? So in 1960s, new crop varieties were developed. We have institutions like Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Our government has lots of agriculture research institutions. We have lots of state and central agriculture universities in our country. And they were given this task. They were asked by our Prime Minister that please ensure that our yield, crop yield is increased, our food production is increased. But and then we were successful in increasing our food production. And it was done by using chemical and input intensive methods. We needed more water to irrigate our farms. Because what happened, our scientists developed new crop varieties which needed more water, which needed more fertilizers. They were more responsive to fertilizers and water. And what happened, agriculture area increased, and our forests were also cut down at some places to expand our agriculture area. And like we were very happy. We thought that this is like a magical solution. Our food production is increased, and now we don't have to import food from other countries. So we felt happy that we have become self-sufficient, and which is true. So till date, our food production is increasing continuously, and in fact we are exporting lots of food. Right now, our godowns are full of wheat and rice. So there is no shortage. But over the times, we realized that we had to pay some price. Because these chemical fertilizers, which were looked as a magical bullets, actually started doing harms in our soils. What happened? These chemical fertilizers started depleting soil health. They damaged soil biology. Like now we were talking about these bacteria, fungi, all that thing. We were talking about that how just 1 gram or just 5-10 gram of soil has so many billions of microorganisms. But because of this chemical fertilizer.
Nita, I'm really sorry. I thought I should interrupt.
Yeah.
Just wanted to tell you that we have only 15 more minutes to go. So
Okay.
It would be great if you can take us through the remaining.
Yeah, sure. So what we realized that our soil health decreased, and there were pesticide residue in our food. So in case you are curious, what are those agrochemicals and fertilizers? These are the fertilizers and these are the pesticides on the right side. And our organization, CSE, Center for Science and Environment, we have also tested some of the foods, and there are chemicals in our food, whether it is vegetables, fruits, or packaged foods. We observed that there are chemicals. And so now we know that organic food is good. And what is organic food? We'll see next slides. So because whatever food we are growing right now, there are chemical residue in that food, and it is harming our local ecology. It is bad for our climate. It is bad for our planet. It is bad for our health. It is causing lots of disease, even like disease like cancer, heart disease, liver disease, etc., etc. So we are facing a lot of disease because of our food, because there are chemicals in our food. And there are lots of benefits of using organic and natural farming. There are lots of benefits in terms of in terms of soil, water, it improves biodiversity, etc., etc. And it is good for climate. So there are some policies by the government. Government now is supporting these programs that government is supporting farmers to grow more food organically. And now the questions come. So what is this organic farming? How can we become organic farmer? So this knowledge has been there since 1000 BC to 600 BC. And we already we have lots of ancient literature like Vrikshayurved, Krishi Shastra, Margayurved, and then there are other literature. And there is one person known as Albert Howard. He is a British person, and he is known as father of modern organic agriculture. And he was in India in 1905. And he has written in his book that Indian farmers and peasants were their teacher. They taught him organic farming. So this is a photo from Himachal Pradesh, where farmers are growing their crops using organic fertilizers. And basically, there are no chemicals are allowed in organic farming, and you can purchase organic fertilizers from outside. And in case of natural farming, basically we use cow dung, cow urine, etc., and we use like a lot of botanical extracts like neem leaves, etc. And external organic inputs are not allowed in natural farming. So there are these two kinds of farming, but basically they are same. No chemical is used. And here you can see, so what to do to get chemical-free food. So one simple way is to get food from forest. So forests grow foods naturally without any chemicals. So you can see here there are lots of varieties of foods which are grown in our forest. And then second, because our forests, you might be knowing that the area has decreased over several decades because we are cutting down our trees. So this is not viable. All of us can't get food from forest. So we need to convert our farms to organic. So basically we need to use on-farm compost and green manures like cow dung, cattle dung, vermicompost. There are lots of organic fertilizers. We need to use those fertilizers. And basically we need to do recycling. Like we have animals, so we have compost and manure. So we put in our farms, then we eat that food, and then again the residues go back to the compost. And in case of currently existing chemical farming, there are a lot of monocropping. Like we have one crop at one time in our farms, like wheat, right? If there is a wheat farms, that only wheat is there. If there is a rice farm, only rice is there, like that. But organic farming promote mixed cropping. Like you should have lots of crop in the same farm. So this is photo from these farmers are doing natural farming. These photos are from Andhra Pradesh. You see how they are preparing lots of organic inputs for their farms. Like in this photo, they are making Jivamrat, Ghanjivamrat. This is what they are being called. Using cow dung, cow urines, botanical extracts, various plant leaves, etc. This is how an organic or natural farm looks like. Like it's not a monocropping, it's like mixed croppings are there. And lots of different types of crops are there. And many of our states have their own initiatives. They are promoting organic natural farming. Right now, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Uttarakhand. So they have increased their organic farming area. And this is how you will identify if you go to market and you want to buy organic food, then these are the logos which you will see. So you can identify if the food is organic or not, because by that time, I'm sure that you might have become aware about what is this organic farming and what is this organic food. So basically, if a food is certified organic, then these are Government of India's logo, Jaivik Bharat, and then India Organic, PGS Green India or PGS India Organic. And then we also import some organic produce from US or European Union. In the left side, bottom side, you see USD Organic. This is a logo of USA, and the second one is a logo of European Union. And then you see, like Anubhuti was telling you in the starting, lots of misleading labels are also there nowadays. So people say, oh, our food is natural. Some say this juice is fresh. Some say this food is pure. This is genuine, organic, traditional, or original. So all of these terms, there is a specific definition for these terms. Government of India have made a specific definition. So even if a product is fresh or pure or natural, it doesn't mean that it will be an organic. Natural means that it contains ingredients that are solely obtained from plants, animal, or microorganisms, and they don't have any additives. Like fresh means that a very minimal processing has happened. Like pure means that only that particular food contains only one ingredient. There are no additives. There are no contaminants. Then there are authentic, genuine, real, means there are some special way, there is some uniqueness in those projects. It doesn't mean that they don't have chemicals. Then there are traditional foods. So basically it means that if there are some if there are some types of food which have been around for a long time, and there are some specific methods to prepare them, or there are some specific methods to grow them, then those are called traditional foods. And then there are original type of foods. So basically these are various kinds of labels. And we have just now written an article in our Google Times. So you can also read that article. That article is also there now. So where we have given details of all these, that what is natural, what is fresh, and what is pure, like that. And so now the question is, so Anubhuti, how much time I have?
We can continue for 5 more minutes. And
Okay.
meanwhile, I will also give everybody the web link for our latest Google Times, where you have written our article on organic products.
Okay. Yeah, good. So now the main question is, because most of you are living in cities, I'm sure there might be some children who might be joining from rural areas, but what I assume most of are them from urban areas, there are no farms. So because you don't have your own farms, so how will you get organic food? Now you know that organic food is healthy. So now you will raise awareness about organic food. Now you will ask your parents. Now you will demand that we should eat organic food if possible. So what should you do? So basically, as of now, only like 3 or 4% of our agriculture area is organic. That's it. More than 95% of our agriculture area is actually chemical. So it is very difficult to, it is not easy, I will say, to get organic food. So and it is why most of farmers are doing organic, chemical, not organic, because it is very difficult for them to do organic. It is not easy, because chemical farmers in our country are getting subsidy support from government, but organic farmers are not getting that much support, and they need to put more hard work. They need to put more labor. And that's why it is difficult for them. And even if they produce organic produce, then it is like very difficult for them to reach out to consumers who want organic, because of lack of awareness among consumers. People like us are not that much aware about organic food, so we don't demand it. So farmers who are growing organic food, they don't get good price, so they then stop growing organic. So what you can do, one thing is that you can go to market. Already there are various organic stuffs are already available, or it will be better. I mean, if this is possible for you, it will be better. Like all of us have like family doctors. So I will say, like family doctors, we should also have family farmers, because every day we need food. We need breakfast, we need lunch, we need dinner. So doctors we might need in 1 month or 2 months or 6 months, like that, or in 1 year. But every time we need a farmer. So if you could connect to some organic farmers nearby, let us say if you are living in Delhi, in Kolkata, or wherever, if you just connect to your nearby, just try to locate nearby organic farmer, talk to them so that they can supply their organic food to them. So this will be a win-win situation for both of you. You will get and then you can develop some trust. Then, because there are a lot of fake organic products also in market, so there are a lot of trust issues. People like us want to buy organic but struggle because lots of fake product is also there. So I think that can be one way. And instead of people like we see like children demanding junk food, we want pizza, burger, etc., and we are very happy. So it will be good if we can spend that money on consuming organic food. So I think, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vineet. I think all our students gained a lot of information from your session. They now know what a Jaivik Bharat logo means. They know that if they spot it, the product is going to be organic. And if it is organic, it is going to be healthy. And if it is healthy, then it's good for them. So I will now open this session for your questions, which you can pose to Vineet. Please raise your hand using the reactions button, and I will come to you and unmute you one by one. In case you want to ask Vineet any question, please raise your hand right now, and he will be happy to answer them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Ankit Kumar. Ankit Kumar has raised his hand. Ankit, can you please switch on your video? It will be nice to see you. Meanwhile, I am unmuting you. Sorry, Ankit, I'm not able to unmute you right now. Meanwhile, I'll move to Kavita Sharma.
I have also got one question direct. It was a direct, I think, message to me that the question is about like organic food today is very expensive. As someone who grows organic coconuts, bananas, mango, etc., know how difficult it is to sell it for a fair price. Organic certification is very expensive. That is one question. Yeah, it is true because it has become a niche market and people who can spend more only they are able to afford it. Because this is partly because like mainstream agriculture is chemical agriculture. If we increase organic area, I'm sure its price can also, we can afford it then easily.
We need to have Kavita Sharma now with us.
Okay.
And she has a couple of students also. So, ma'am, can you please go ahead and ask your question? In case you are from a school or something, please let us know. I have unmuted you. Yes, please go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. I am Yogita from Masuri International School. My question to you is that how can we find actual organic food?
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, this has become a very difficult task because until unless you are connected to some organic farmer yourself, whom you can trust. So best thing is to if you could identify some farmers locally in your area, you can so that you can visit their farms and then be sure that they are not using chemicals. And then the second thing is, of course, we have to depend on certifications. Like we just discussed the government has organic certification. So we have these logos, India Organic, Jaivik Bharat. So you can just try to buy those foods which have those logos. And then I don't want to take a name of any specific company. Now, lots of companies are there, even online also, even like Amazon, Big Basket, everywhere. Lots of companies are there. You just order it and you'll get it. It's not that difficult. I mean, to get it from companies.
So Vineet, I also have a question. Like, does it mean that just like the government has put the logos for identifying vegetarian and non-vegetarian food, like the one with a green dot and the one with a red dot, is it similarly easy for everybody to identify organic product through by looking for the Jaivik Bharat logo or the India Organic?
Yeah, and then they also write organic. Organic is also written clearly on those products. Clearly, they mention organic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to have all of you students from the Masuri International School. Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am, for bringing your students for our session today. Let's move to the next question. Oh, by the way, I also would like to tell you meanwhile that if you want to get more information on how to identify organic food from amongst a host of food packets available in the market, please make sure to read our Goba Times. Our Goba Times cover story for the current month is on grabbing some organic stuff. The poster of which is right behind Vineet. Vineet himself has co-authored it for us along with Anamika. I'll move on to the next question. It is by Bhaumik Kar. Bhaumik, where are you from? And which class do you study in?
Ma'am, I am from Odisha. I am in Cambridge School, class 5.
Lovely.
I am asking you that how we can know that this is an organic food that is not packaged.
Okay. So Vineet, here is a puzzling question. If
How do
an
you
organic
say?
food,
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. So can you repeat?
So,
please?
Bhaumik is asking us that if there is an organic food item, but it is not in a packet, then how
Yes,
can you
yes.
know it?
Okay. So then I think then only thing is that you need to trust that farmer, because normally even if it is not packaged, if you demand an organic certificate. All small farmers are exempted from organic certification. Small farmers can sell without certification. So they don't need any certification. They don't need to mention organic or whatever. If you have some local, for example, you are from Odisha. So Odisha government is procuring millets from farmers and then distributing it through various channels, through midday meals and through other schemes. So then that is one way. And but if you don't have a packaged food and organic is not written, then it is not easy. Either you can demand certificate from them, or you should know them personally. That's the only way which I could think of.
Okay. Vineet, we
But
also
you can also test. So now there will be some rapid test kits which will be available in market. Right now it is costly, but I hope that over the time it will become cheaper, and so that consumer can also have one kit and they can test themselves if a food is organic or not organic, if it has chemical in it or not.
Okay. We have quite a few interesting comments on our chat strip. Ankit wanted to know if the Jaivik Bharat logo is approved by the government of India.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, it is. It is approved by the government. It is Government of India's logo.
Dhirendra wants to ask, is organic food healthy? Is there any data to support that?
Yeah, so actually there are lots of debates, like whether organic food really have more nutrient or less nutrient, what is the situation. But normally what we understand, because under organic farming, diversified mixed farmings are promoted. So it make our food diverse. And because we are not using any chemicals, so I'm sure it is better than chemical food. Because we are not using any chemicals. In case of chemically grown food, so excessive uses of fertilizers as well as pesticides are reported from ground. So because of lack of awareness or because of whatever reasons, our farmers unfortunately using pesticides in excessive quantity. And not only during growing, even like when this food comes from farmers to your plate, so it comes through a lot of intermediaries, it comes through RTs, through markets, through a lot of people. You go to some nearby store, it might have come from Maharashtra, from somewhere, or Haryana, or Gujarat, or Punjab, or Himachal. So in between also, like there might be some issues in the food. Like there are some solutions, so chemical solutions, they just wash those vegetables from those solutions so that it becomes shiny. For example, in case of apple, they put wax, so even they color it. So like just 2 days before, we were having a meeting with food safety officers, and they were telling us that there are traders who are putting color on apples, because these apples were not red enough, so they were doing red color. Similarly, in case of lychee, they were like using some chemicals so that it's a little bit like redness can also come. So like even if farmers have not used the excessive chemicals, so in between, because there are lots of people. So that's why I was telling you that the best thing is if you could connect to some farmers, that's the best thing. And if you could, if the government also, NGOs also, a lot of institutions also, if they could come forward, like your schools, your lots of institutions, if they could come forward and make a consumer forum, organic consumer forum, like in case of Hyderabad. So what happened, because people were struggling to get organic food. So what happened? So they around 100 to 200 people get together and they ask that we will buy organic food, we need organic food, and then they approach organic farmers. So that way, in your RWAs, in your societies, you can make your organic consumer groups, and then you can connect. You can connect with some NGOs or some organizations who can then connect you to organic farmers.
Thanks, Vinny. I remember seeing a comment on the chat by Veer Bhadra Reddy. He wanted to know why the prices of organically grown products are costly, even though they are being grown using less fertilizers.
Yeah, because when a farmer sells a tomato or any vegetable in local mandi, so let us say they get 3 rupees, 4 rupees, or 5 rupees per kg. But then the middlemen, because there is a proper supply chain, by the time it comes to your table, it becomes like 30 rupees kg. So farmer is only getting like 3 to 5 rupees per kg in various cases. Or let us say sometimes they are getting 8 rupees like that. But then RTs are there, middlemen are there. They purchase from farmer at 5 rupees per kg some vegetable, and then they give it to other traders in 10 rupees per kg. And then that trader further take it to other metro city and sell it to, let us say, 15 rupees kg. And that mandi people sell it to a lot of this local market, this rediwala, theliwala people, let us say 20 rupees kg. And by the time it comes to your colony, your nearby market, it becomes 30 rupees kg, like that. So similarly in case of organic, because it mostly does, like private companies are there. So it's up to them. Like they, of course, they have a cost, which they need to increase price, but maybe not that much. But of course, there are also farmer groups are also there. So that's why I'm telling you that it is best for consumers if they want a reasonable price, if they want good food. The best thing is if they could connect to farmers network through some organizations, NGOs, or whatever.
Thanks a lot, Vinny. I think we had a wonderful session today. I think all the kids were really glued to their screen and learned a lot today. They will now know what exactly is a fresh food product, what is authentic, how is it different from traditional, how is an olive oil calling itself original olive oil different from natural olive oil or something else. I will now unmute all of you, and you can then say your goodbyes and thank you to Vinny. In case any of you has any more questions to ask, you can email it to us. I have put our email ID on the chat strip. It is young@downtoearth.org.in. Right now, if anyone has a question to ask at this moment, please raise your hand quickly. Else, we will close this session.
Yeah, so through Anubhuti now I have also become your friends. So you can, I'm always there. You can ask whatever you want. If you have some queries, you can always write to us, and then we'll try our best to respond to you.
Right. So I think that we have answered all the queries, and all right. So you can now. Okay, Ankit Kumar wants to say thank you so much for a very informative session.
Yeah, thank you.
I think Sukanya, you can now unmute everybody. You all can say your closing comments now.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Dr. Hina from the School of Agriculture, Lovely Professional University. I'm associate professor here. So first of all, congratulations, all of you. You have taken a very good initiative and a very well session conducted by our guest speaker. And my best wishes to all the children because these are the future budding scientists. So best wishes all of you. In future, any guidance or any guidance is required, we are very ready to give our, because we are working on our sustainable approaches in agricultural field regarding the composting, agricultural waste management, how the waste to well, how the kitchen waste composing, what are the segregations of these waste. In the same way, we will tell the students from moral values and for the upcoming sustainable development goal. So my best wishes, all of you, being a faculty and being a colleague of these future budding scientists.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next month. Make sure you check out our current edition of Gober Times. Gober Times is very easily available on our lovely Young Environmentalist website. Our website is purely for you with a lot of environment-related content that you can check. The easiest way to check out Gober Times is this. Just go to our website like this. This is our lovely website. Here, click Gober Times, and you will see all the latest edition of Gober Times available. This is our latest edition. All our older editions are available here. You can click them, download them, and enjoy reading all the cover stories and other interesting articles. At the same time, you can also contribute to us, and we will be really happy to publish you with us. Right? Make sure you go through our website, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll now close this session.
Thank you, ma'am.